As you can see, I finished pressing the sashing on all of those blocks, and I laid out a 5 block by 5 block pattern on my dining room table. I played with it a little bit, switching blocks back and forth until I liked what I saw. My next project is to sew all of these blocks together into a 5 by 5 block section, which I'll quilt, and then I will sew 2 sections together, and then 2 more sections together, and then all 4 sections. So the quilt's going to be done in 4 sections. So what I do is I note which one is going to be my upper one, and that's this one here, and then I very carefully lay the next one over on it, like that, like this, like this, like this, and like this. Now when I sew these, I want them to stay in this line. So this is going to be the bottom one, and I normally take a pin and I pin it together, which is hard to do while holding my camera. Okay, I'll pin it together. Now I'm going to pin these all together, and they're all pinned now. Now I'm going to sew these together all at once, and I want to keep them in this line. And I've pinned them so I'll sew the correct edge together. Okay, and I'm going to go, this is the bottom one. I'm going to make a stack here. And this is the top one. So I've got 5 2-patch stacks. Now, I want to denote which one is the top so I don't get myself too confused. And one way to do that is to just stick a pin in it. That's my top. Now I'm going to take these to the sewing machine, and we'll start sewing. We have our stack now, and we're going to lay it to the side. We're going to pick up the first one. If you recall, I put an extra pin right here to denote the top one. I'm going to very carefully line up, and if you want to, you can pin them, the sashing here and here. And I can remove both of those pins, and I can line it up all the rest of the way down. Line it up. There we go. Next one. I'm going to continue doing this until I get all 5 sets done. By the way, if you want to, you can move that, I don't know if you can see it, drop that hem down so that that seam locks. Now we take that pin out. There's 2. Let me show you how to lock those again. It doesn't matter which one you pull down. We'll pull this one down, the back one. And we're going to lock it. I'm going to hold it carefully and make sure that they touch completely. We're going to hold it with a pin if you want. And there we go. With the pin. Now, I'm going to do the last 2 and be right back. Alright, I finished all 5 of them. And what I want to do is I want to sew these together. So I'm going to open up the first 2. Like this. And you can see that they're going to match up very nicely. I'm going to lay them over. and I'm going to match the seams. I need to match those seams. Here's not a problem. I need to match them here and here. I'm going to sew them. Notice I'm not using too many pins. I don't cut these apart because I want them to stay in line. That seam I'm going to match. And then I'm going to match it down here. Still doing a scant 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so I have those two sewn together. Look like that. I'm going to open the next one up. Like that. Flip it over. Got a little bit of excess here. Going to match it up. And so, I want this seam here to be just perfect, right on. Like that. I'm going to lock it. And we're going to have to do a little bit. That's the piece underneath here is on the bias, and so I have to be careful and make sure I don't pull it. And I just lost my thread. Okay. Let's pull that up again here. Get a hold of it. And I continue with that until I have all 5 sections sewn together. I'll finish the last 2 and we'll be back. As you can see, I have sewn the first 2 rows together and the second 2 rows together. Now I need to get the last one together, and what I did was I just simply pinned each block to its neighbor, and I will take those in and sew those together. Okay, everything is sewn together, so I have 1, 2 10 patch pieces and 1 5 patch pieces. All that's left to do is to sew them together. I'll probably put the 5 and the 10 piece together, and then we'll sew that to the other piece. I'll do that and be back. Okay, so far so good. We have 25 patches put together. That'll give us the upper left-hand section of the quilt. We have 3 more to assemble. And when we finish, we should have about a 90 by 90 inch quilt. Anyway, I'll get back to it, and we'll put some more patches together.